Welcome to today's video. It's actually it's a short one. This wasn't part of my regularly scheduled programming, but I recently did the Kendo palette, and I'm sure I'm saying this wrong, Zendo. Yes, the Zendo palette. And I got a couple of responses. Somebody said it looked a lot like the Coral palette, yay. And someone else said it looked a lot like the Retro palette, yay. So I thought I'd do some arm swatches because I didn't really get that it was like either of them. I'm going to do swatching on the arm just in order here, and then we'll go through both the palettes and see if anything kind of matches up. But it's not just about one color or two colors, it's about the whole theme. And to me, actually, this theme is kind of similar. It's interesting because this is in a pink, and this helps to set your brain. And this is in a coppery kind of color, and that helps to set your brain. If these were both in white, I can see how someone would look at this and say, wow, they seem pretty darn similar, and they kind of do. Let's do some swatching. All right. While my arms are actually kind of big, this is an unusual way for me to do things. I'm not really sure what I'm doing wrong here, but we're going to go for it. This is Zendo. Now, I'm going to pull the colors from Retro that could be the same. So we have a matte right here, for instance. And here's this matte. This matte is darker. Same family, but darker. This is the silver, and it's also darker, but yes, same idea. This is the sparkly shade to this sparkly shade. There's a lot more sparkle in this one from Retro. There's another sparkly shade from Retro that is the same kind of sparkle as the Zendo, but there's still a little bit more radiance to it, and this is a deeper color towards this one, has a bit of a brightness to it. And of course in Retro there is a matte gray, which I will put right up here, but they're not the same. But yeah, there's a lot of similarities between here. It's just, I suppose you could say, I mean, this color is far darker for deepening up the crease. And this would be the crease color, which is far darker than this crease color. And then there's this color, which has some reflective qualities to it, that will kind of do the same thing as this color, but they're not the same colors, even though they might be able to do the same thing, and that will give you a different look. Sometimes it's just one color that makes the entire difference of what kind of look you can get out of something. So yes, there are some similarities, but there's no gray in this one. Instead, there's this really, really beautiful color. And I think the effect is quite different. Now, let's take a look at this one. I just don't see it. The Coral one just has a lot more orange in it. Now, you would say, well, maybe these two shades here, but these two just don't relate to this one or this one. And of course, this one is a purple. So to me, these are the only two things that we could consider possibly being similar. And let's take a look at those. And they're right down here. They're, you know, in the similar family as this darker tone that is for the crease, but completely, completely different. This one being shimmer doesn't relate to this one at all. And this one and this one, there's a huge difference. This is so much darker. Let me swatch the matte again from Zendo. So that's a really good swatch now. And in my mirror, it's like, oh yeah, they look so close, but in real life, they really don't. This is much more muted than this one, as if maybe, not that there is a gray in here, but it's muted in that way, if that makes sense to you. And I do want to show you something. This is what I thought of when I saw this palette. NARS Narcissus. What I love about this palette, because it's really pretty basic, right? Light beige, a couple of browns, a green I'll never do anything with. These sparkle shades are insane, but to me, This shade right here is the star of the show. This is what I really, really loved about this palette. And that is almost a dead-on dupe, that one color. So maybe that's why I really like this palette, because for me the star of this one, the NARS, is this color. Let's take this and see. I don't think that's going to match anything. No, because there's not a sparkle in this kind of paprika-ish color, but let's compare it to the Coral palette and the NARS palette, and I think that's about it. So here's what I got to say. If you loved this, you loved that one color, which I always called like a paprika color. I just thought that was the star of a pretty neutral palette. If you took out these two, it's like, well, it's neutral. It's a nice, pretty neutral. Well, and the green. Take out the green as well. This, to me, star of the show. No idea what to do with that green color. The Coral palette, it's not the same. It's not. I can see where you would think it is. The Retro palette, it is similar. It is similar. It's so interesting. But this gray and this color here really change which way the eye look is going to go. It's just different. And yeah, up to you. I'm just here to provide the evidence so you can make the decision. And here's my sloppy arm swatches. So this is the Zendo. Here, 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 here. This is the Retro. This is the Coral. This and this are the NARS. Now I've totally lost where I am. But it's just a short little playful interview just to take a look at the evidence before me. You make the conclusions, what you think. I still like it, by the way, and I think this formula is really, really, really nice. It might be better than this formula by a hair. The face of the chinny chin chin, whatever that thing is, that expression. And quickie, super quickie. Thanks for playing. Hope it was helpful to you. Hope you come back again. Be safe, be smart. Mwah. Ciao.